Welcome everyone to the ABT Summer Nationals in Las Vegas, Nevada. At Sam's Town Hotel Casino Bowling Center, I am Mike Flanagan, and we are here for an exciting evening of bowling. It's the Amateur Bowlers Tour 2013, and you can see the team championship trophy down there. We're going to talk about that a little bit later here in the broadcast. This great event is brought to you by Storm, the Bowlers Company. Of course, Storm has been a great sponsor of this event for many, many years. The ABT has been around since 1997. I'm Mike Flanagan, bringing you into the booth here. Excited to bring you all this great action here tonight from Sam's Town. We had over 350 people come out and participate in this event here, and we are down to four finalists this evening. They made it down to a round of 32. They had to bowl everyone in head-to-head matches, get down to 16, down to 8. We had a tie. Running a little bit late here this evening because there's just so much action and drama, and we've got some new players you're going to get to meet tonight. My colleague down on the lanes, Randy Pedersen, who will be working with me tonight, is standing by with our finalists. We're going to throw it down to Randy here in just a moment as he has all of our finalists standing by. Also working on the broadcast tonight, I would be remorse if I did not tell you about a couple of great people working with us. We've got Kyle Rendon tonight, 12 years old. He is helping us log all the scores into the computer for you this evening, as well as Louis Ouimet from Storm. He does a great job with his YouTube channel and all the Storm news. So we're going to throw it down now to our finalists that are standing by. Let's turn it over to my pal, Randy Pedersen.
Thanks, Mike. Talk to the four finalists for the Summer Nationals here at Sam's Town. First, we're going to start with Chris Aldiger. Now, Chris, it says here that you're a dance teacher. What kind of dance do you teach?
More in hip-hop choreography here in Vegas. I teach at 2 dance schools, and I'm in charge of 2 competition teams.
And I watched you bowl a lot this week, and you were playing the extreme outside line. Why is that?
Because it was referred by a special friend named Randy.
Atta boy. We going to see some dance moves today?
Maybe.
I hope so. Good luck. Well, this guy's no stranger to making money at the ABT. In fact, the last ABT Spring Nationals, Dalton Cox finished 3rd. Dalton, why so much success at the national events at ABT?
Well, all I do is practice. I have nothing else to do. I don't work anymore, so I'm just do a lot of practice and bowl a lot of leagues.
Yeah, and it shows. So that's a nice problem to have.
Well, I have nothing else to do.
All right, buddy. Thanks very much. Good luck. Ricardo Perez, 4 years as an ABT member. Is this the highlight of your ABT career?
Yes, sir, and it helps me a lot. The confidence and playing with other ABT bowlers is fun.
What's the game plan for tonight?
Just throw the ball, have fun.
That a boy. Good luck. Jojo Ortiz needs no introduction. This guy is pretty much a charter member of the Northern California section of ABT. He's been an ABT member for 34 years. Jojo, you are 1 game away from winning the Summer Nationals here at Sam's Town. What does that mean to you?
Well, this is the moment that everyone's been waiting for. We'd like to be in this position, so I'm savoring all this time right now.
Hey, good luck, best of luck to you, and knock him dead.
All right.
All right, there's your top 4. Let's send it back to Mike Flanagan.
Thank you, Randy Pedersen. As you can see, we have some great finalists here tonight, and a lot of new bowlers, a lot of new nervous faces. Has never been on a broadcast like this quite before, being interviewed by Randy Pedersen. And, of course, more importantly, the live streaming guru myself here. I'm sure they're just shaking in their bones. No, actually, I went down and talked to the players a little bit, and everyone here is getting handicapped tonight. All the players tonight are getting some handicap. Chris is getting 31 pins. Ricardo, 46 pins. Jojo is getting 43. He's our top seed. Dalton Cox, 33 pins of handicap. So a little bit different than what you may see on live streams that we do before here on InsideBowling.com, but a lot of money tonight to play for here at Sam's Town. Got to hand it to Myron Mitchell and what he's been doing since 1977. He's really a pioneer to the amateur bowling circuit, and we've been here in Vegas for a couple of weeks now. You saw us at Bowl Expo, you saw us at the TAT, and now over here tonight. Really excited to be here at the ABT Summer Nationals. So I believe Randy Pedersen's got a couple of bowlers that participated standing by down on the lanes. Randy.
I do, Mike, and with me, Scott Pohl, Eric Medvez, Kay Johnson, 3 of ABT's finest. I've never done a national event where I didn't see all 3 of these players competing. Scott, I'm going to start with you first, all the way from Minneapolis. You're a really, really strong player, great player. What's it like bowling other events versus ABT events?
It's a different mentality for me to get ready for. There's a lot more distractions. You just try to stay more focused in these events. And it's a little more loose, a little more fun.
What attracts you the most, though, to these national events?
The shorter formats are kind of nice sometimes. You don't have to spend a whole week long at an event. You don't have to bowl 40, 50 games to try and make the top 3, 4. It's nice to just bowl a few games.
What about the cash?
The cash is great, especially if you can make the top few.
Attaboy. Thanks for your time. Eric Medvez, Southpaw from, I think you're from Mission Viejo, California, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
You've bowled a few of these.
Yes, I have. I've been a member for 33 years.
33 years is a long time. And, you've got this group of friends that are pretty much at every national event. It's yourself, along with about 6 or 7 other guys, and you call yourself the Posse.
Yes, we call ourselves the Posse. We're great followers of ABT in the events because it's a good place for us to be with our friends and join together and bowl and compete at the national level.
Who's your favorite PBA Tour player?
Oh, it's you, Randy, of course.
I thought you were going to say Wes Malott. Thanks, Eric, for your time. And finally, last but not least, my favorite ABT bowler. Now, I give this young lady lessons, personal lessons. I tell her when to throw her spare ball. This is 77-year-old Kay Johnson, and there hasn't been an event that I've covered that Kay hasn't been a part of. Kay, what keeps you coming to each and every one of these ABT events?
So I can keep on bowling and stay healthy.
What's your favorite part about competing? You just like the action?
Yes.
And you love bowling.
Right.
And what's your favorite equipment?
Storm, of course.
You heard it from Kay Johnson. Who's going to argue with that?
I love it, Randy Pedersen. Thank you so much for those interviews. Randy down standing by with these great guests here at the ABT. Love Kay. She loves Storm. And, of course, we all love Storm, too. The ABT's been around since 1977. They have 20 branches in the United States. And they have 4 national tournaments each year, 4 regionals also in Las Vegas. So it's really a cool organization to be a part of, and it's fun to be here behind lanes 23 and 4 here at Samstown. The crowd is starting to actually shuffle in. You can see right up where we are, up here in the booth, the backdrop. The folks are here watching. A pretty cool, exciting environment. And the very first time they've rolled out the red carpet yet again for Inside Bowling. We have trusses and lighting here, Randy. Pretty cool.
Yeah, this is first class, and that's kind of what ABT is all about. Myron Mitchell, the president and CEO of ABT, does a first-class job, and his people work 12, 14, 16-hour days to bring this type of tournament to their members. They have several national events that run throughout the year, and also our great host here in Las Vegas, Samstown. So without the two, none of this is possible. You and I are just kind of like icing.
We are the icing on the cake, or the cherry on top.
There you go.
Can I be the cherry and you be the nuts on this hot fudge sundae that we're cooking tonight?
Sure.
Thank you. Randy, always fun to work with you. This is our second time, man. This is our sophomore broadcast together.
Yeah, we're starting to really feel it, aren't we?
Yeah, we sure are. Take a look at those great bowling balls, Storm products. Can't say it enough. Storm, the Bowlers Company, Storm, supporting bowling, supporting this great event here. ABT it is.
There was a bonus for any player finishing the highest. The last person standing in this event got a bonus for using Storm equipment exclusively throughout the competition and wearing a Storm shirt, and that honor is going to go to Dalton Cox. He's going to win a $500 bonus for using a sink throughout the entire event.
Get a good look at Dalton here with his Storm jersey on, a Tim Mack jersey. We won't hold that against him. And, Timmy, if you're watching, we love you, buddy. We love you, Timmy. Welcome back to the States, by the way, Tim Mack. No longer having to live over in Bahrain. There are two magnificent people here in the building. Want to turn it over to them right now. Look at these two guys.
Man. Aren't we lucky?
Yep, and Louie's working hard, too. We got to really hand it to Louie we met. He's our guy. He's our guy getting all the shots. And as a matter of fact, there's a look at Jason Langtree here doing a great job. There's our 2 finalists, and they're shaking hands. And it looks like we're about ready to get underway, Randy.
Jason Langtree is the the area.
Yeah, the area manager.
The area manager, Las Vegas is his territory. Dalton Cox and Chris Aldiger getting set to start this opening match of the Summer Nationals, ABT Summer Nationals here at Samstown.
Don't forget you can tweet us during the broadcast at #InsideBowling. We'll display your tweets up on the screen. Action underway.
Dalton Cox has got experience in this position. At the Spring Nationals, he finished third. So no stranger to success at big ABT events. $75,000 paid out in this event with up to $25,000, including bonuses to the winner.
Ooh, just luckily picks that up. Good clean living here on this 43-foot oil pattern, 3-to-1 ratio. Very demanding, Randy.
Yeah, it's really flat. I bowled on it. Not easy. There's no free willy to the right and a bunch of yank left if you're a right-hander. And the same went for the southpaws as well. Remember, this is a handicap event, and the differential between these two bowlers is only 2 pins. 2-pin difference in handicap, and that advantage goes to Dalton Cox.
Gets the ball out to the right there. Randy, how come that ball did not come back?
No friction. In order to play the extreme outside part of the lane, you either had to get right on top of 1, 2, 3 and actually go a little straighter or even a little right to left. I want to see some dance moves from Chris.
Well, he's wearing orange. You know what orange means. He's on fire.
Fire!
It's been really hot here in Las Vegas, record temperatures. Don't go outside, Chris, because you might burst into flames, young man. That's a Robin Williams reference from Good Morning Vietnam, if you've ever seen that movie, Randy.
Great movie. And I love looking at Chris's bio sheet. What are you going to do with the winnings? And he said, take care of debt.
Well, we've all got it.
I didn't think you had any.
Yeah. Well, I'm in debt to you for sitting next to you in the booth, living out a dream for the second time.
Listen, I'm not loaning you any more money.
All right. Well, there's Chris with a big hit right there.
He's played out this entire tournament, and he's really made a living there. He's done quite well playing that extreme outside part of the lane. Special shout out to Matt Turek. Thanks very much for the kind words via Twitter.
Through the face, just a little bit pulled there maybe, Randy?
Just a little tug, but, you know, the thing that I like so much about Dalton in his game is that on this tough ABT oil pattern, he's going to hit the head pin just about every shot. And he's going to make spares. And that's really the key in this event is to fill frames, use your handicap to your advantage, but spare shooting is at a premium when you're bowling on this competitive oil pattern.
Covers it up nicely. So through 2 frames here. No opens. Pretty cool.
Dalton's got a lot of things going for him as well in terms of bonus money. $2,500 for first place if you use a Storm bowling ball, Storm equipment exclusively, and you wear a Storm logo throughout the finals. And also, if you're an entry that stays a minimum of 3 nights here at Samstown. So there's $5,000 available to Dalton Cox.
That's a lot of change. That's more than most video poker machines will pay for the progressive,
Amen.
From what I understand.
Amen. And that's just bonus money.
Players are taking their time here a little bit. I'd be taking my time for this kind of money as well. No time restrictions here with live broadcasting over the World Wide Web. Third frame gets it done.
Nice shot there. And again, you can see the straight down and in shot where Dalton's not going to make too many mistakes. He's going to hit that head pin, and that's key.
Don't really see too many nerves out of these two guys. Looks like your interviews down there before the match loosened them up a little bit. They feel very comfortable. AMF HPL lane surface here today. Not the slickest of all surfaces, just a little bit of friction on this one, but not as much friction as wood. The crowd starts to get into it a little bit as we take a look at the crowd here right behind us, Randy.
Pretty good shot there by Chris Aldiger. And he gets that early double. But there is a lot of danger lurking playing that extreme outside line. A little bit too far to the right, and it could be a washout, a 2-8-10 or 0.
There's a look at Kyle Rendon helping us out, 12 years old. He is part of this broadcast. He's logging all of the strikes for you. Appreciate all the help he's been giving us here tonight, part of our broadcast.
Well, it went from a good break to not so good break as the 3-6-9-10 was up, and now it's just the 3-10. And again, you can see the difficulty of the oil pattern, a little left to target, and there's just not enough oil to hold it on line.
What would be the correct way to shoot this spare? Would you go cross lane at it or move over to the right on this flatter oil pattern?
You go cross lane at it, you throw a straight shot just right of the 3-pin.
Good effort out there. So our first open frame here in the 4th frame by Chris. Dalton Cox up in the 4th frame on a strike. Possible max score 279 still for Dalton Cox, 256 for Chris Aldiger. Both players do receive handicap. Do we know the handicap difference between these two players, Randy?
2 pins.
2 pins. And advantage to
Dalton Cox.
Dalton Cox, thank you. Looks like we're having a little bit of a malfunction here. We'll bring it into the booth for a minute. Randy, you're looking good in blue.
Thanks. Yeah, I need to wear darker colors, though, I think. It's been a while since I've seen the inside of a gym.
Yeah, and it's been a little while since you've seen sunlight, too, living down in Florida and being here in Las Vegas, being in these bowling centers for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you don't get out too often when you come and work ABT events in Vegas. These folks work a lot of hours, and, we put in some long hours, as you did your last gig. We've spent some – you've been here, 17 days in Vegas?
Yeah, 19 actually.
19?
20 tomorrow. I'll be flying home to St. Louis and then on to Salt Lake City here not too long, a little bit further down the road here.
Yep.
as I make the move to work at Storm headquarters.
15 days for me. So we've had a nice run, but it's time to go home.
It is time to go home. Back underway, almost a commercial break there. Maybe kind of froze them a little bit, huh?
That was a nice break, and tripping up the split and only leaving the 10-pin. And, Chris Aldiger got that early double and then failed to capitalize on it opening in the 4th frame. And right now this is a 5-pin match if Dalton Cox can convert this spare. And I say 5 pins because, remember, Dalton Cox does get 2 pins in handicap differential.
So through 4 frames, Samstown, Bowling Center, Hotel, Casino. I actually walked the entire bowling center here today. 56 lanes here at Samstown, all in a row. Well, through the face again, 6-pin looks familiar.
Again, the biggie, though, is that there's no split, and it's an easy spare conversion. 4-pin match halfway through.
Covers it up yet again. So still clean through 5 frames, Dalton Cox. Dalton from California, Chris right here from Las Vegas, Nevada. Both right-handers. We do have a left-hander coming up on the broadcast, Ricardo Perez. Ricardo will be up in our next match. And a great-looking shot by Chris. Chris has 3 strikes out of 5 frames. Dalton just kind of steady wins the race. Spares are important, of course. And as you can see, it's a very close match here halfway through match number 1. Uh-oh, we've got a balk here, Sean Rash-esque. Something distracted Chris. Not sure what it was that distracted Chris there. Looks like he's getting ready to regroup as he attacks this oil pattern on lane 23 up in the 6th frame, looking for a double.
And nice comeback there. And joining us in the booth now, Area Director Jason Langtree. Jason's, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Hello, gentlemen.
How are we doing, Jason? It's great to have you here sitting by us. Great work here at the ABT Summer Nationals, working very hard out there. It was a pleasure to meet you here this week, and really excited to bring you into the booth.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a great team effort, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Jason, if you could sum up in a few words, what's ABT's mission statement?
Well, basically, we try to provide a competitive environment for all levels of bowlers. So our mission is to tailor to the entire bowling world and offer great guaranteed prize funds to the entire bowling population that meets our eligibility requirements.
I mean, you've got averages that go from like Kay Johnson, who I interviewed earlier, who gets quite a bit of pins handicapped, to ex-touring players that have bowled on the PBA Tour at some point or another. Maybe touring is not the right word, but have competed in some professional events. So you've got that, and I mean everything in between.
Yeah, sure. You'll see, elite players that at one point in their life maybe competed at the highest levels, and then you'll have bowlers that, average 130 in their leagues at home and come out and have a chance to win some great prize money.
Well, we've got ourselves certainly a match here as we see the 3-seed Dalton Cox and the 4-seed Chris Aldiger go at it here on the lanes. These two guys have been bowling your events for how long?
Well, I've had the Vegas branch for about 6 years, and Chris has been a member for at least 5 of those. And I've known Dalton for all 6 years because I've enjoyed meeting him here at the national tournaments since I began.
And this match is all square right now, guys. Remember the 2 pins that Dalton Cox gets because of the difference in handicap. And now that all-square match just turned into a 10-pin deficit for Dalton Cox. Chris Aldiger throwing a great shot there, and he comes right back after the open frame with a 3-bagger. Do you think the players could play out on this oil pattern? Jason, when you saw the graph for this oil pattern, did you think that was possible?
Well, I definitely use these type of conditions a lot, and I knew that the diversity of players that we have out here in our club, I knew that we'd see some of the guys out. I was surprised at the number of players that were not able to play out, but the graph did look like in would have been the play.
And remember, we talked about the misses from the extreme outside part of the lane, Mike. When you do miss, you run the risk of leaving some really ugly designs.
Yeah, when you go left to right on this oil pattern, it takes the ball a little bit more time to try to get back up the hill, so to speak. With this 3-to-1 ratio oil pattern, when you do go left to right, you see results like this. Very important to get count here. Hit the left side of the pin and have a chance to throw it over there.
Still a tight match with the advantage going to Chris Aldiger. And that's how you get right back in it.
Yeah, Dalton tends to be the cool competitor, level-headed. He obviously has some experience out here.
6-pin match.
Sure. Yeah, he definitely never going to count himself out, whether or not everyone else thinks he might be out. He's in a fight tooth and nail to the end.
I talked to both of these guys just before the match, and they both were so excited just to even be here. Really impressed with both of their styles here. Crosses over, almost carries that one, Randy.
Yeah, you know, Dalton comes in with a game plan for these events because I promise you that, you know, when he's in home bowling league, he's playing, you know, that first or second arrow, maybe in between the two, but he knows that that's a tough go here at ABT with the flatness of the oil pattern, so he moves in the middle part of the lane and just tries to hit the hep in every ball.
This is the easiest spare to convert, but on a flatter pattern, it can play mind games on you sometimes. You throw the ball out to the right, and on your typical house pattern, you would see that ball begin to hook into the pin, but here it just kind of keeps going as the oil pattern we continue to talk about it is flatter across. So 9th frame, still a possible 203 for Dalton, 222 for Chris. Really, Chris can take matters into his own hands right here, and it all starts here in the 9th frame.
Well, another mistake, and he's left himself a really tough spare, the 3, 6, 9, 10. And the problem pin is that back pin, the 9 pin. He's going to have to probably throw a hook ball into this spare. And on this oil pattern, that's a tall task.
There's a good look at the spare right there. You made mention recently on a CBS Sports Network broadcast, Randy, that more and more people, especially on the flatter patterns, are going hard and straight at this spare.
A lot of the touring players are starting to throw it straight at the 3-6, trying to hit the left side of the 3 pin and drive it into the 9, kind of like that.
Very nice.
That's a great conversion right there by Chris.
Chris obviously watches Pro Bowlers Tour.
Or he may leave that spare a lot.
You know, people that hook it are going to leave that spare.
Absolutely.
And unless you're bowling on a house shot or a wall or where there's friction right, it's a tough combo to make.
So 10th frame, Chris has an opportunity to seize the day, or at least seize this match.
Well, he needs a double to shut him out. Let's not forget the 2 pins that Dalton gets. So his max score is actually 205. If Chris Aldiger goes strike spare in the 10th, he's going to shoot 202, and that would give Dalton an opportunity to double in the 10th and win this first game.
Boom, baby.
Nice shot. One more strike. He will advance, and it'll be the end of Dalton Cox's run. Chris Aldiger, dance teacher.
Chris doesn't even know he's up and has to throw another shot here. He's in the zone. He's not even thinking about it. Just going up, trying to make the best shot that he can. We've got a couple of 200 max score possible games here on a flatter pattern with bowlers that get handicapped. They're rising to the occasion. Good looking shot there.
Wow.
Six wraps around the 10.
Massive slinger ring in 10 there. Now the question that I put to Jason Langtree ABT insider. Does Dalton Cox have what it takes to step up and double in the 10th frame?
Well, I absolutely think that he does. You mentioned earlier in the broadcast here that he's one of our smooth competitors. He's got a good level head. He's got some experience out here. So I wouldn't want to be in Chris's position right now, sitting on the bench watching this potential next double.
Covers it up, so it's 2-0-2 for Chris Aldiger. I think he would have taken that before the match.
Yeah, without question. Pretty strong. First time on television, or excuse me, first time on the internet. Yeah, it feels like television.
Yeah, we'll just call it TV. I hook it into my HDMI cable on my TV anyway when I'll watch this back.
See, there you go.
Grab my popcorn, my butter, my seasoning, and my favorite Afghan.
And my favorite Afghan. Dalton, checking the scoreboard, needs 2 strikes in the 10th frame and count. He's got to get to 201. So he'll need a double and 8. Remember, he gets 2 pins handicap. And that would be the difference in the 2 handicaps.
Taking a look at the scores now. Dalton knows what he needs to do. He's got his sink in his hand. Looks like he's ready to get going here.
Question is he in sync?
If not, he'll be bye, bye, bye.
Well, little ship forward.
A famous song by NSYNC, and he says, no, no, no. I am here to stay. One more shot here.
The NSYNC references are slaying me right now.
Hey, chicks dig NSYNC, or at least they used to.
Yeah, they used to. Dalton Cox, I'm not even sure if he knows who NSYNC is, but he is throwing a sync. He needs to sync it up for another strike right here.
Crossing over. Oh,
how about that?
Break.
Jason, we've seen this, especially in match play, in ABT events, at every national event that I've ever covered. This happens all the time. These matches come down in the 10th frame. Somebody gets a nice break, and now he's 8 pins away from moving on.
Yeah, you know, these guys work hard out here, and they've had some good breaks go their way, and we just saw one.
Look out. How about that strike, huh? What a 10th frame by Dalton Cox.
Yeah, pretty clutch. Probably not the way that he drew it up, but we knew that we knew that he had it in him.
Yeah, Dalton Cox got the job done there over Chris. Chris, though, nothing to hang his head about. Chris pulled a really nice game there. So it was Dalton Cox 203, gets 2 pins of handicap. 205 over Chris Aldiger's 202. We'll be back in just a minute with more coverage here from Samstown. Welcome back, everyone, to the ABT Summer Nationals. It's the finals. We just had a great opening match between Chris and Dalton, and looking forward to the next match coming up here in just a minute. But before we do get to our next match, I have Randy Pedersen standing by with a special couple of guests down there. Randy.
Thanks, Mike. With me, some more of our great ABT bowlers. I'm going to start with Everett Nishikawa. Now, Everett, you know, earlier in the telecast, I interviewed Kay Johnson. You know how we all love Kay, and I know that you do a lot of bowling with Kay. What makes her so special?
She's a great bowler. She's bowled just about all her life. She bowled in Japan, and now she's bowling in the U.S., and I bowl with her almost every weekend, especially in the ABT tournaments. We bowl Citrus Belt, and a lot of time we come up to Vegas and we bowl with the Purdy's and in the local tournaments. I really enjoy bowling with her and all of the ABT tournaments that we have here.
And you had a nice run here. You were a semifinalist in this tournament. What is it that you like most about ABT?
Well, it's a challenging, and there's a lot of friends that you accumulate and meet, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And it's handicapped, so it's comparable, you know, equal playing field for everyone. Right.
Everett, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
And one of several husband and wife duos that we have here at ABT, Elaine and Daryl Purdy. And Elaine, I'll start with you first. Who who usually gets the better of one another when the two of you are competing at an ABT event?
In ABT, well, I beat him quite a bit because I have more sticks on him. But he feels that he's a better bowler. However, you know otherwise.
Well, now you both have had some really good success on the national level at ABT. Talk a little bit about your highest finish and Elaine's highest finish, Daryl.
Well, my highest finish was second place, the first ABT $100,000 prize fund. I came in second place in the Masters. I would agree with my wife. She might be a better bowler than me when she is bowling on, but I am definitely a more better bowler than her on local tournaments. So.
And Elaine, your highest finish in a national event?
I finished fourth place in the Springs National this year, and I also finished first place in, I believe it was 2011, the regional.
Now,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I just want to say I love ABT. I've been bowling for over 12 years, since before I had my child, and I've bowled in Chicago as well as Las Vegas, and it's really a great, fun environment.
All right, we got another match getting ready to start. Thank you both so much for your time. Let's send it back to Mike Flanagan.
Thank you, Randy Pedersen. Some great folks standing by. Husband and wife duo. He was so excited to tell us a story about his participation here at the ABT. And just like our finalists tonight, we'll be excited to tell people for many years to come and relive it. Opening shot right here. Through the face, but avoids disaster as he leaves the 2-4.
The difference in handicap in this match is going to be 13 pins in favor of Rick Perez. Again, ABT being a handicap event makes it a nice even playing field for all levels, or all skill levels, I should say. Whoa, easy, skinny jeans there.
Hey, you know what? I believe you're just supposed to hit both pins. That's all they say.
Hey, that's exactly what he did, huh?
That makes you feel comfortable getting into the match right away. So here's a look at Dalton Cox again. As we mentioned before, he's using the Storm sink, and he's gotten a couple of breaks and another break as he crosses over, leaving the 10 pin. You can see our tournament leader warming up. JoJo Ortiz will be coming up in the next match. It's going like clockwork here, as the 4 seed was defeated by the 3 seed, and now we have the 2 and the 3 seeds. Ricardo Perez from Henderson, Nevada, and Dalton Cox from Vallejo, California.
And as Dalton Cox gets up on the left lane working on a spare, joining us in the booth, the president and CEO of ABT, Myron Mitchell. Myron, welcome.
Well, thank you, Randy. Appreciate it. Nice being here.
It's nice having you. I know that Mike Flanagan and I are just absolutely gassed that you're here to join us. I know that you don't like to do a whole lot of this stuff. You're more of the guy that likes to be in the background. But I think that there's a lot of people out there that need to know that you're the guy that's basically responsible for putting all this together.
I do the best I can. I have a lot of great support.
Myron, you know, we talked to Jason Langtree, your area manager, in the first match. He gave us a little insight as to what ABT's mission statement is. How would you best describe, you know, what ABT is all about?
Well, we're designed to give our members a fun, fair, competitive atmosphere and a chance to win a lot of money at our national tournaments. Locally, they're more designed for fun, fair competition, not necessarily for the big dollars. We come to the nationals for the big bucks.
And you guys put in a lot of hours when we come to the national events here in Vegas.
Yeah, most of the staff works 16-hour days for 6 days in a row.
Good-looking shot right there by Rick.
Mike, you have a question for Myron?
Yeah, Myron, I want to know how you have kept tournament bowling alive. In a decline in bowling, you've done a great job at keeping tournament bowling alive, not only to the high-end bowler, where a lot of tournament organizations only cater to the high-end bowlers, but you have kept it alive and catering to the masses. Tell us how you've done that.
Well, we have a very strict handicapping procedure where we do the best we can at making sure that we don't allow bowlers to manipulate averages and handicaps. We've been doing this for 36 years now. We think we got the formula down. And we pass that on to our local branch directors and area managers and teach that, and hopefully we have good, fair, competitive events all over the country.
Rick Perez has got it down, too, as he's got a double after a spare.
Myron, you've handed Dalton Cox a few dollars through ABT over the course of his tenure and his membership with ABT. This guy's made a few bucks.
Yes, he has. Dalton's done very well. He finished third at our spring national tournament for right around $15,000, and he's due to possibly win 25 or more today if he can continue to step up the step ladder.
Well, he's behind the 8 ball right now with the differential and average and the 13 extra pins that Rick Perez is getting along with that early double. So, we saw Dalton, I think it was a semifinal match again, or excuse me, a match play match against Kay Johnson that actually went extra frames. The two of them tying, and Dalton, he figured he was pretty much on his way out of the tournament. It goes to extra frames, and he was able to advance, and so he's still here. He's got some extended life.
Yes, that's right. He doubled in the 9th and 10th roll-off and was able to move on. That was a fantastic match between him and Kay.
And we talked about that in the first match, Mike and I, along with Jason, about how competitive so many of the matches are in match play, and it doesn't matter the differential, the handicap, that it's there for a reason. The better bowlers not getting as much handicap, it really tightens up the matches, but it makes for some great matches.
Yes, it does. That's the idea. That's really what we try to do.
I think ABT does a great job of monitoring the averages and really understanding the strengths of bowlers. Where you're not going to get a player to come into an ABT event sandbagging their 150 average when they're a 200 average bowler, because you guys are really on top of the averages in your tournaments.
We are, and we watch all kinds of things, including how a bowler bowls. We have several pro shop operators on staff with us and help us out at all of our national events and give us heads up if they feel that somebody may be holding back. And this helps us control that end of that part of our game.
And not only that, but you being a bowler yourself and being a proprietor and seeing a lot of bowling balls go down the lane, you're a pretty good judge. And Mike, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Myron's a pretty good bowler in his own right, southpaw, and he's a pretty good judge of talent. He can go down there and watch these bowlers bowl on this oil pattern, and he can tell. This guy. If this guy is a 190 and he comes in with 130 average, these guys are going to spot that.
Well, I just know he's good at picking talent because you and I are both here.
Thank you.
That's how I know you're good at picking talent. Randy Pedersen being your spokesperson, you hit a home run there with this guy.
Absolutely. We had a very good relationship over about 7 years now. We've been together. It's worked out fabulously for the Amateur Bowler Store.
Well, like I said in the opening match, these are my peeps.
And look at Rick continue to go.
How about that start?
Wow.
Spare four-bagger plus the 13 pins and differential with the handicap. And right now, Dalton Cox is in big trouble.
Sticking with the boy bands from the first match, all you people, can't you see, Randy Pedersen is here with me. Backstreet Boys.
Man, you need to get some new iTunes, brother. Dalton Cox shows a great shot right there, only leave a ringing 10. Myron, before you leave us, why don't you give us some parting words, and how about maybe a little promo for the upcoming Fall Nationals?
Well, we're kicking off at this tournament. We kicked off our first ever team event. ABT is now changing its focus for singles, doubles, and team tournament competition as we go forward. In the October tournament, we have our PBA Team Challenge that we're initiating in addition to our main team tournament that we'll be running at the same time. All of our events, of course, have guaranteed prize funds, $10,000 in the PBA Challenge, and guaranteed first place prize of $2,000 for the regular tournament.
That's great.
In October for the general membership on a very low entry fees.
And the Fall Nationals, the payout's going to be over $150,000.
Minimum, yeah. At this tournament, it appears as though, even though we only guaranteed $75,000 purse, we're about at $110 right now.
Wow.
So we've exceeded the six figures again.
It's great stuff. And I know that throughout the year, don't you guys pay out something like, what was the number I was hearing?
We pay out nationally over $6 million a year, $1 million of it right here in Las Vegas. $1 million in our national tournaments here in Vegas.
What do you think about that, Mike Flanagan?
Six figures is unheard of in the game of bowling these days. And as we talked about earlier, Myron Mitchell been doing it since 1977. He's kept the doors open. He's continued to grow it year after year. And it's been a pleasure having you here in the booth and representing the ABT through our Inside Bowling channel.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being with you, gentlemen. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks, Myron.
Oh, a blower 5 here on lane 24. It's going to end the streak for Rick, but 4 in a row for Rick and an easy spare coming up. He's well in control of this match. Still has a max score of 269. His opponent, Dalton Cox, just 232 max score.
Dalton in big trouble right now, halfway through this match, and still hasn't thrown a strike yet.
There's a good look at that 5-pin. Takes care of it. Randy, did you get a look at what ball Rick is using today?
Can't see that far. I'm old. He also had one of his matches come down to the 10th frame. Is that a Marvel S?
I believe it is. I don't know how he got his hands on one of those, but Rick obviously knows some people and has been able to get a Marvel S in his hands. That ball comes out here just in about a week.
You know what they're saying about that ball right now, don't you? It's marvelous.
Marvelous.
It is marvelous. Bang.
Well, it sure looks marvelous right now as Rick has found a way to throw 5 out of 7 strikes.
In a round of 8, he gets up in the 10th frame. He needs all 3 in the 10th to win by 1 pin against Terry Robbins. And he goes flush, flush, and then leaves a stone 7. They go to a roll-off. Rick eventually is the winner.
Sound like Mr. Robbins needed a plumber for all those flushes.
Hey now.
So, Randy, what do we see here in this match? Bit of a landslide?
We've got a bit of a runaway just for the simple fact that Dalton just opened. He hasn't thrown a strike yet, and Rick is going at a 220 pace. Rick Perez all over Dalton Cox like a bulldog on a pork chop.
I love it.
And all that luck and good mojo that Dalton Cox had in his opening win is now left him. If I was him after I got done, I would not go to the tables. Remember, we are at Sam's Town in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada.
Covers it up. You know, Dalton, I've been impressed with his spare game. No strikes this game, but he is good at covering his spares. He's only got the one split that he missed.
Yeah, he missed the 310, the baby split. And again, you know, I have a lot of ABT folks come up to me and ask me, hey, Randy, what do I need to do to make it to the main event, to make it to the finals, to make it a match play? And I tell them, you got to keep the ball in front of you, keep your target in front of you, hit the headpin, but you got to be a good spare shooter. And you just said it. You just hit the nail on the head. Dalton Cox can make his spares, and that's what keeps him into these tournaments, into these matches, and that's what makes him money at the ABT. the objective right now for Rick Perez is the same.
Yep.
He's so far ahead. All he has to do is fill frames.
Just keep it around the head pin and fill them up. Absolutely. And, I like Dalton's strategy. Rick's got the same strategy. Rick playing the left side of the lane. He's playing kind of in that tube zone between the 15th and 10th board, just trying to go right on up, put it up the middle of the ramp there, and just keep it right around the head pin. The only way you have a chance to strike most of the time is when you do hit the head pin. So both of these players very, very smart out here on the lanes. Covers it up, avoids the chop. Here at the ABT, you can use equipment as it is given out. There are some staff players, and this being a Storm-sponsored event, a lot of Storm staffers bowling in this event. And I'm sure that's how Mr. Perez got his hands on the Marvel S. Hey, if you got it in your bag, why not use it? We are Storm, we are strong.
That Marvel S is so good, it can strike on either side of the head pin.
It certainly can.
This match all but over. Dalton Cox just finishing up, and Rick Perez is going to move on. He will face our number 1 seed, JoJo Ortiz.
There's a good look at that Marvel S. You can see the track flares there. Flare meaning as the weight block goes down the lane, Randy, that it begins to shift where the ball rolls and gets a new, fresh part of the ball, which creates more hook.
I've heard this one term before. It's called axis migration. Does that have anything to do with track flare?
I believe it's the exact same thing.
Okay, then we're on the same page.
I'm a little more not up to par on my technical skills, but I'll have to be, otherwise I'll find myself out of a job soon.
Listen, I'm kind of with you in that boat. It's gotten so technical that now I just kind of make a phone call to somebody at Storm, whether it's Victor Marion or Hank Boomershine or one of the guys like maybe Chris Schlemmer. Hey, I got this new ball. How should I lay it out for me, guys? And they'll tell me, go do a little insult to injury. How about a swift kick in the kneecap for you, Dalton, as you exit out after leaving the Stone 810. But another great week and another back-to-back third-place finish for Dalton Cox at a national event at ABT.
That's pretty strong, Randy.
It's good stuff.
Very, very strong. He's going to be happy with the amount of money he's going to receive here at the ABT. You know what that means? Coming up next, we're going to have our championship match. JoJo Ortiz versus Rick Perez. Lefty versus righty. Pattern equality here at the ABTs. As you see, both a lefty and a righty we will have in the finals. Definitely got to send a shout out. We both work for Storm, but Storm being the sponsor of this great event for many years. Great partnership with the ABT. Storm is truly the bowler's company, and when you have an opportunity to go out and purchase that next new bowling ball, make sure you give Storm a shot. And all the balls smell so good, Randy.
Hey, listen, if you like finishing second, don't buy a Storm ball. All right, Rick Perez, nice, clean, 220-plus game. Good stuff. Lots of momentum, lots of good mojo heading into the title match. And mojo is a really good thing when your opponent that you're going to face when his name is JoJo.
Mojo for JoJo.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good stuff.
We also need to make sure when we come back we talk about the wardrobe of the two players, as Rick looks very, very comfortable in his shorts, his plaid shorts. The crowd goes crazy here. And really a great-looking crew right behind us here. A lot of people here watching the ABT here at Samstown.
Nice week for Dalton Cox. Way to go, Dalton. Good guy, too.
Absolutely, and when we come back, we'll talk to some more people here, and we'll bring you back with our championship match live here from Las Vegas. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the ABT Summer Nationals in Las Vegas, Nevada. Mike Flanagan here with you. We're at Samstown Hotel and Casino, getting ready for our championship match. Ricardo Perez versus Jojo Ortiz. But before we do that, we're going to throw it down to the lanes now with my pal Randy Pedersen, who's standing by with some more ABT bowlers. Randy.
Well, I'm down here once again, Mike, with all my ABT peeps. And so we've got a couple of men, a couple of women. We're just going to ask them some questions about, what they love most about ABT. I'm going to start with Renee Olitz. Renee, where are you from?
I'm from the Las Vegas branch.
And so this is a home game for you.
Yes, it is.
And what is it you like most about ABT?
Well, what I like most about ABT is it's just like my second family. I practically bowl every single weekend. So the dedication, it's a great sport. I love it. It's my cardio since I don't work out as much. But other than that, it's fun. It's a chance for me to make good money, do what I love. It's my passion.
Renee, thank you so much for joining us. Tess Lee. Tess Lee, where are you from, Tess Lee? Where are you from?
I'm from Las Vegas.
Hey, do you know Renee?
Of course.
You guys bowl a lot together?
Oh, yeah, big time.
And what's your favorite part about being an ABT member?
I met a lot of people, friends. That's what she said. This is my second family, and it's been a great experience for me.
Did you ever watch bowling on TV?
Of course, especially when I get a chance. Yeah.
And who's your favorite bowling announcer? She's a smart lady and a good bowler. Thanks, Tess. All right, joining me, these. I normally don't look up to too many people, but these guys are some heavy hitters for ABT. And not just because of how big these guys are, but they can bowl. We'll start with Harold Hill. Harold Hill. Now, Harold, you've been competing in ABT events for quite some time now. How many years for you?
Oh, way over 20 years.
And you have family that bowls in ABT as well?
Oh, yeah, my wife, my son, many, aunts, uncles, cousins, yeah.
So
we all do it, yeah.
It's kind of like a family outing for you guys when you come to bowl ABT.
Every time.
Congrats. Great to see you, as always, each and every national event. Thank you for your time, Harold. Now, Roy, I think you're the tallest national ABT member we have. What are you, about 6'7"?
6'6".
6'6". You sure it's not 6'7"?
Positive, 6'6".
How's the bowling game? The last time we talked, you had a little bit of issues with your knee, but other than that, how's the bowling game?
Getting better every day.
Yeah. And what's your favorite part about competing at ABT national events here in Vegas?
Meeting people from all over the country. Yeah. And that's the best thing about bowling. They gave me my nickname.
What's your nickname?
Tall Roy Jones.
Tall Roy Jones. There you have it. Back to you, Mike Flanagan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Randy Pedersen. Tall Roy Jones. I love it. And I'm loving these interviews between the matches here that Randy's doing here with the great folks here that bowl the ABT. Hey, if you want to bowl in the ABT events, this is all you need to do. Head on over to abtbowling.com, and you can check out the 20 different branches they have in the United States. And the 4 national tournaments here in Las Vegas they have every year. You can come on out here. You can compete. You can have a chance to make it on our live broadcast as well. Randy Pedersen joining me back in the booth. That was a lot of fun down there with those folks.
Well, I've known these people for a lot of years, and it's great to see them 3 or 4 times a year. That's how many national events I cover for ABT, and just being able to see the same folks, and then meet some new folks at the events it's a great time. These people come out; they're very competitive, but they're also good people. They're here to have fun. They're here to make money, and that's what ABT is all about.
It's kind of like the hokey pokey. You bring your bowling balls in, you take your bowling balls out, you bring your bowling balls in, you shake them all about. You get on the InsideBowling.com broadcast, and you bring all you got, and that's what it's all about.
It's an interesting analogy there.
Do you
Mr.
like that?
Yeah.
It's not bad, huh? You do the hokey pokey.
I'm not even going to touch it.
I'm on day 20, sir. Day 20.
Hey, listen, we've got one more match for the ABT Summer Nationals here at Samstown, sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company. This is good stuff, man. It's time to get psyched.
Oh, I am here to pump you up, Randy. I am ready for quite the final match. Lefty versus righty.
Got my son Chad here handling some of the audio duties, handing out the wireless packs and wireless microphones. Chad's doing a good job.
He is. Nice young guy.
Yeah.
Watched a movie tonight.
Yeah, he went to see The Lone Ranger. Said it was great, Dad. That was awesome. Of course, we were working, so we couldn't go to the movies. I think we're getting ready to start.
Here we go. Don't forget, tweet us in the booth, hashtag Inside Bowling. We'll get your tweet up on the screen as Rick gets us started here, opening up the match on lane 23. Well, he picked up right where he started in the last match with an opening strike.
And those of you wondering, the difference in handicap is 3 pins in favor of Rick Perez.
Rick Perez gets 3 pins this game. Definitely good to know as we move forward in the match. 3 pins, handicap tournament. Everybody has a chance here at the ABT. It's the Amateur Bowlers Tour is what ABT stands for. Championship match. Mike Flanagan, Randy Pedersen here. We heard from Myron Mitchell. We heard from Jason Langtree. Do a great job here.
And this is an all-storm finals. Looks like JoJo is using an IQ Tour. Nice, smooth release there, huh?
Absolutely. We got ourselves a match.
When I talked to JoJo prior to the start of the webcast, boy, he looked really focused, real serious, like this is something he really wanted.
You know, if Ricardo changed his name to Casey, we would have Casey and JoJo bowling against each other, and then I would find another broadcast partner not sweeter than you, Randy Pedersen, a little Casey and JoJo song.
I'm not sure we're even doing the same telecast right now.
We are.
Or webcast.
Somebody's watching here in the bowling center. I can hear it behind us. Oh, is he going to trip the 2?
Shaker 2.
That was a good shot, too. That could have very easily gone. You know, when you're playing the right part of the lane, Randy, you get breaks like that sometimes.
And again, just another example of playing a tougher oil pattern or a flatter oil pattern and playing to each individual's strengths. JoJo's strength is going straighter, and he takes a ball that will enable him to keep it on line and go straight enough.
TV lights may be breaking down this pattern a little bit. Scores may go up as this match unfolds. Covers it up. It's important here for Ricardo to go up in the second frame and really set the tone for this match. If Ricardo can string strikes like he did opening in the last match, he's gonna be tough for JoJo to be able to handle. Would you call that a break or not a break?
That was a good break. And that almost struck. So that went through the nose, leaving the 7-10 standing just for a sec. 10-pin gets tripped. Some lookers going over to the 7-pin, but it's still standing.
This is a cool-looking spare ball.
Look out. His first blemish on the card today.
Yeah, and that spare ball there that he switched to is a very rare bowling ball. Looks like it's the basketball. Or no, what is that ball? It looked like a basketball from that front angle.
Not sure what it is.
Some sort of tricolored ball. Wasn't effective, but Rick needs to get back on it here. We talked about how spares are so important here at the ABT.
Oh, look out.
Back
Hang on. Oh.
Slow racks here.
We had a spinner down there in the deck. That thing spun around and hit that 6-pin, almost stripped that. Now, that was back-to-back potential big splits. He did miss the 7-pin in the second frame. That could have been another ugly split, and the last thing you want to do is fall behind early, especially if you can't string enough strikes together. And you've got to factor in the nerves right now. I mean, they're bowling for a lot of money, potentially $25,000 or more, and these are folks that don't make a living bowling on television or on a webcast.
No,
so you got to factor that in as well.
This is a lot of people. This was a weekend trip to get away and just have a little bit of fun here in Las Vegas. Now our top seed, JoJo Ortiz, out of Union City, California.
That's where I won my very first PBA title.
Could be coincidence here tonight. It might be his night. Things like that do come into play, as I believe karma and coincidence are two things that do weigh in to titles.
That's okay, because if he converts the 5-pin, it'll still look like 9 spare on the scoreboard, and he will still maintain his lead. Keeping the ball in play and making spares once your opponent starts to fall behind on this demanding oil pattern is key. Till your opponent can prove that they can string strikes, all you need to do is stay out of your own way and not get into trouble.
You talked about mojo for JoJo. He's from where you won your first title. Might be the mojo that's going to put him over the top here tonight. A clean game, I believe, will win this for JoJo Ortiz. All right, he's got some fans here in the crowd as well. Still got quite a packed house in here. Plenty more folks just off to the right of our camera view here.
Just reading JoJo's stat sheet. Anyone you want to thank? And the very first people he wants to thank, ABT staff. It's good stuff. Julian Trudy and Myron and Bill Cobble and everybody else, our wonderful ABT staff. And, boy, they work hard, many hours, and they put on a really nice tournament. And this is like a big family.
Well, that ball I thought was going to slide backwards and do the old fade back there, fall back, but just fortunate just to leave the 4 and the 7.
Trip to split out. He's okay, just leaving the 4-7. Switch to the spare ball, stay on cross lane, and just cover it and maintain the lead.
Taking his time. He poses every shot, too. If you really take a look at him, take a look at his style. Poses it here at the line. Covers the spare. JoJo Ortiz is clean through 4 frames. Randy, what do you think here Rick needs to do here in the 4th and 5th frames? What's the mindset?
Well, he needs to kind of draw off of his first game where he strung 4 in a row rather, and shot 220. He needs to start stringing strikes and then start applying some pressure to JoJo.
Well, hits the head pin again, but is now certainly out of the pocket, leaving the 4-7.
Remember the last time he shot the 7-pin on this right lane, it was a pull shot that missed the 7-pin to the right.
Looks like he's going to stick with his strike ball to shoot it this time.
So it's got to be an issue with the thumb not fitting in that spare ball.
Covers it. The Marvelous can do it all.
So he's got obviously has a problem with the fit or the grip of his spare ball. Doesn't like it, and chose the much stronger Marvelous, flattened it out, and covered the 4-7 nicely.
And because this is a 43-foot flatter oil pattern, he is able to do that without the ball checking immediately when he throws it out to the left, being a higher-end bowling ball in the Marvel S. Well, that could have gone there. Kind of an unusual hit.
Yeah, it could have gone either way. It could have been 6, 7, 10, or the 7 could have got tripped late for a very high pocket strike. Again, only one strike for Rick in this match. Remember, the last match he shot 220. He's now going to the spare ball again. That's very interesting that he'd shoot the 4-7. He'd shoot the 4-7 with a strike ball where he covered both the 4 and the 7. But when he leaves the 7 pin, he goes to the spare ball.
Yeah, it looks like he's got something figured out a little bit more than you and I.
Yeah, well, he's down there and we're up here, and he's going to make a heck of a lot more money than you and I are today.
That's for sure. So just about halfway through the match here, our championship match, Ricardo Perez from Henderson, Nevada. The 2 seed, number 1 seed, Jojo Ortiz. We get a look at Jojo setting up. White shoes, black pants, and the nice baby blue shirt. I like it. Similar shot that we just saw Ricardo make, but Jojo able to knock them all down. Why is that, Randy?
He got a nice break and tripped the 4-7 out late. And there's not a lot of back-end reaction. Jojo, big, tall guy, he's got to get down to the foul line. He kind of bends over a little bit the foul line and then just kind of directs it at a pretty straight angle to the 1-3 pocket. And because there wasn't a lot of down lane reaction, he was able to trip the 4-7 out.
Was almost an identical shot to the one he just made on lane 23, where he left the 4-7, tripped the 4-7 out on 5. We'll see if he makes a small adjustment maybe here. Wow, almost a solid 7, Randy.
That was a great shot. He really posted that shot up nicely. Jojo just absolutely stuffed that one in the pocket. And like you said, Mike, the only thing standing was that late 7 pin that fell and was the last to clear the deck.
To me, it looks like that Jojo may have just amped up his speed a little bit. Maybe stood right where he was, just amped up the speed a little bit and watched the ball hydroplane down the lane a little bit more and fall back into the 1-3.
Well, his direction has to be really good, too, playing that line. Oh, no.
Almost the same shot again, but now by Ricardo Perez, but he cannot get the 10 to fall.
Just a rotten break, man. When he needed it most to get back in the match, he leaves a solid 10.
Good grief.
When asked Rick Perez about what he was going to do with his winnings from this webcast, he said, bowl more ABT tournaments. You got to like a guy like that, huh?
Oh, absolutely. He wants to come out and do it again. If there was a tournament tomorrow, he'd say, sign me up. Heck, maybe if there was a tournament at 3 a.m. tonight, he'd bowl again.
I mean, the only way he'd like him more is if he would have said, buy my friends more beer.
Are we his friends?
I don't know.
I hope so.
Am I your friend, Daddy? There's a Caddyshack reference in case you were wondering.
I know.
Mike. Okay.
Hey, whenever I call you friend. That's a little Kenny Loggins reference.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Who also did I'm All Right from Caddyshack.
Yes, he did. You are all over the references, bro.
It's the one thing I can contribute, Randy, as we see Ricardo go through the face now. The 2-4-7, the right-hander's 3-6-10, one of the most dreaded spares and most hated spares on tour.
Well, not so bad without the back pin. You know, the 8-pin's not back there, so it makes the spare much easier. You put the back pin, the sleeper, or the 8-pin back there, whatever you want to call it, this spare becomes much more difficult.
And that's that flat oil pattern, not allowing for the bowling ball to hook into the 2.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's no dry boards at the outside part of the lane on this oil pattern. Right now, Rick Perez is starting to put the bow on top of the present and handing it off to this man in the light blue shirt. That's 2 opens now, no doubles. JoJo clean through 6 frames with a double. JoJo Ortiz can really put the foot on the throat of his opponent with another strike right here.
That's left. Well, a crossover break, Randy. When it's your day, it's your day.
That's right. Some days you're the dog, some days you're the hydrant. And today, JoJo Ortiz through 7 frames is the big dog.
He certainly is. He is clean through 7. He has a triple working. And Randy, you've got some pretty cool news too. Myron Mitchell just coming over.
Yeah, Myron just updating me on, with bonuses, the amount of money each player can win. I'll disclose that once we crown a champion.
All right. Looking forward to that one.
Great shot. How about that? Talk about taking advantage of an open frame. JoJo steps up in the 7th and 8th, working on a double, and just goes bam, bam.
That's right. Pow, pow. As he gets the
pow, pow.
The light tickler. First light shot we've seen in this match. It's really played true to form here. The higher seed has won every game tonight.
Yep, not one player has won more than one match, as we get a ham bone over our live chat. And no, it's not Rob Stone sending the ham bone. Well, it's been a nice run for Rick Perez, barring any catastrophe for JoJo. JoJo just stays behind the foul line and gets count. He's going to be in the 200s. Right now, if Rick spares here, the best he could shoot if he strikes out 9th and 10th would be 190. Even with the 3 pins of difference in handicaps, it still won't be enough. It's pretty much all she wrote, Mike Flanagan.
Yes, it is. This has been fun tonight with you, Randy. I really enjoyed being part of this ABT, seeing what Myron and his staff's been doing, be able to bring this to the world tonight. Looking forward to working on future broadcasts with you here at the ABT.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be able to work with you and doing great stuff like this. I look forward to doing this again with you in October at the Fall Nationals, calling the team action with you. Or actually, I can't call the team action with you. I'll be bowling.
Yeah, you'll be bowling. I'll have to pull someone out of the crowd. Maybe the great people you interviewed tonight.
Nice shot there, Rick.
All right, Rick, I'm proud of you on that shot. Way to muster through it here.
Now, JoJo, 9th and 10th frame, working on 4 in a row, in the 220s, taking his time, gives his opponent a 5. And with one more strike here, it's all but it's over. Good count here, the 9th and 10th frame, and JoJo Ortiz is going to win his first ever national event. It's been a lot of years coming. This guy is a charter member of the San Francisco area ABT branch. 34 years as an ABT member.
It's a long time, since almost the beginning of the ABT.
I know this has got to mean an awful lot to him, never capturing a national event in all those years.
Be there, Joe. Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby.
And he crosses over.
Can you hear the lady singing?
5 in a row. What do you call that, Randy?
Yahtzee?
That is the Yahtzee. So JoJo Ortiz from Union City, California, has everything working his way here tonight in our championship match of the Amateur Bowlers Tour Summer Nationals. Definitely want to send a shout out to Jim Welsh, the GM here at Samstown, and Mike Kaufman, the Director of Bowling Operations for the Boyd Entertainment Group. Really rolled out the red carpet for us here. Great internet feed. great establishment.
You can't leave out Whit. Whit was here forever. Still here. Used to run the joint.
And, of course, Whit, as Randy lets me know. I'm a newbie here, buddy. Take a look at the 2-4-5. JoJo going up, attempting a spare for the first time in the last 5 frames.
Did you mention thinking Whit?
You did.
Do you not know Whit Jones?
I do not know Whit Jones.
Well, you do now.
I look forward to getting to know him, though.
What a great job JoJo Ortiz has done in this match. He did exactly what he needed to do. Got a couple of nice breaks and threw some great shots, and he's going to capture his first ever national event.
Yeah, he can still shoot 234. That's a score that many of the pros would take on television.
Really good score on this oil pattern. Yeah, there was a Brooklyn thrown in there, but that's okay. He made some nice shots.
And he picked his spares, too. Very, very important. He's got a great follow-through. Why not? JoJo Ortiz, your champion here at the 2013 ABT Summer Nationals, Las Vegas, Nevada. There's a smile and a wave to the camera. Great job, Louie down there. And you know, Ricardo, nothing to be ashamed of. Still can shoot 190.
Ran into a buzzsaw.
There's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, Rick bowled a pretty good game. If he strikes out here, he shoots 190. Didn't get a whole lot of breaks. Remember, he left the solid 10 on a pocket hit. Nice tournament for Rick Perez, but, you know, 234 is tough to beat, especially on this oil pattern with all this pressure that these players are under. They're facing big money. JoJo Ortiz is going to collect a little over $25,000.
$25,000.
Yeah, that's like 1 month's pay for you. He did it in a day.
Let's give a hand to all of our bowlers here.
And you could see the interaction with all the players. You know,
Absolutely.
Even though Rick came in second, he was the first one to give JoJo a big hug. This is what the ABT family is all about. And everybody's such good friends here, and this is what really makes it special.
Certainly does. Over 350 entries here. It came down to these two great players. The 70% of 225 handicap gives everyone a chance here at the ABT. They bowled 3 games of qualifying, 1 and 8 advanced. Then they made it to the round of 32, the round of 16, the round of 8, the round of 4 now. And now there are your first place and second place bowlers. JoJo Ortiz, congratulations to you, young man.
Nice job, guys. We're going to have a check and trophy presentation, Mike Flanagan.
Yes, we are when we come back here from the 2013 Storm ABT Summer Nationals. We'll be right back with you. Mike Flanagan back here with you. Welcome back. Boy, what an exciting night we saw tonight. Great action. Awesome people, too. We met some great bowlers out there tonight. And really proud of the effort of all 4 of our finalists here tonight at the ABT Summer Nationals here at Samstown. Want to throw it down to the lanes now to my colleague, my partner. He called the action with me. You know him as the ESPN color analyst and the CBS Sports color analyst, 13-time titleist, Hall of Famer, and my friend Randy Pedersen, who's standing by with a special check presentation. Randy.
Thanks, Mike. We have an approach full of important people. I'm going to start with Jason Langtree, the area manager here in Las Vegas for ABT. Jason?
JoJo, congratulations on a great week of bowling. On behalf of the ABT, Samstown, and Storm, I'd like to present you with the 2013 ABT Summer National Trophy.
Thank you, Jason. This is the moment I've been waiting for 34 years. 34 years, I finally did it in the national championship. Almost equivalent to the PBA championship, but we're amateurs. This is the greatest amateur tournament in the whole world. Thank you to Myron, my friend, and all of the ABT bowlers in the whole world.
Thanks, Jason. Got a quick word from Lee Up, Storm's regional sales rep. Lee, you watched a lot of the action this week. You were here every day with myself. Any comments or anything you'd like to say to JoJo?
Well, I can say JoJo bowled really well all week long. He looked really good, and he made all the Storm equipment look even better. So congratulations to you, JoJo. Great job.
All right, and now for the most important part of this, the check presentation from the president and CEO of ABT, Myron Mitchell. Myron?
Congratulations, JoJo. It's fabulous having another San Francisco area winner in the national tournaments. Congratulations. You guys are great supporters of our events all the time. Thank you.
JoJo, I know that it's been a long time coming, and I know how much this means to you. If your family was here right now, what would you say to them?
I love all of them for all their support, especially my wife and my 2 kids for not being here. They sacrifice a lot for me to come here every year, 3-4 times a year. I'm here trying to make the championship, and I finally did it.
They're going to be awful proud of you, aren't they?
They are, and I'm proud of them too.
Congratulations, JoJo.
Thank you.
Flanagan, back to you, buddy.
Thank you so much, Randy Pedersen. Randy, what a great-looking scene down there on the lanes. Congratulations one more time to JoJo. They love him here, as you can see. Hey, everybody, just to let you know, the ABT has an exciting new event coming up August 8th through 11th right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's not too late to be a part of that one. You definitely want to check it out, as Myron and his team have a lot more planned, and they're just getting going here. Since 1977 and all the way into 2013, the ABT is alive and well. And you want to come out and be part of this singles, doubles team and all events. Randy Pedersen, Pete Weber, Leanne Hulsenberg, and the rest of the crew are going to be here for that one. You do not want to miss that. Great action here tonight. Really enjoyed bringing it to you. InsideBowling.com will be bringing you more and more action here. Over the next couple of months, we will be at the Proprietors Cup next weekend. We will be at the Proprietors Cup at Beaverview Bowl in Dayton, Ohio. Billy Isolt and his team do a great job with that event. We'll be there. Join us Friday for the Ace Mitchell Team Challenge, and on Saturday and on Sunday for the Proprietors Cup. Also, we will be going to a few other places. We'll be going to New York in August as well, as we'll be going up to check out the Underground Bowling Tour. Be there with Storm and Inside Bowling. And we'll also be at Jeff Carter's Mary Tubner Team Bowling Tournament in Springfield, Illinois. Check out his events at Land of Lincoln Tournaments. And make sure that you check out the Proprietors Cup at proprietorscup.com to find out more information about those events. And, of course, you want to check out abtbowling.com to make sure you check out all that's going on with the fabulous ABT. So for my entire team here, Randy Pedersen, Louis Ouimet, and our new friend, Kyle Rendon did a great job for us, updating all the scores for you. It's been 20 days in Vegas for me. I'm ready to get out of here and get home. If you're watching, Kim, I'll be home tomorrow about 11 o'clock. Be flying out of Vegas about 6:50. It's been a fun trip, and I hope you've enjoyed all of our broadcasts here this week. I'm Mike Flanagan, Director of Marketing for Storm Bowling Products and the CEO of InsideBowling.com. One final thing. The USBC Open Championships is over. Congratulations to my friend and our founder of Inside Bowling with me, Brian Burkhardt. He's won an eagle. He and Rick Gatlin have won a doubles eagle. Congratulations to those guys. And I'll be seeing you soon on another broadcast. Thanks again for keeping bowling alive, and I will see you soon.